The year was 1986. A new program emerged on daytime television. It was called The Oprah Winfrey Show. A talk show during a time when talk shows were quite popular, especially amongst women. In fact, during the 1980s and 1990s, middle-aged housewives watched talk shows for the same reasons why their sons watched WWF wrestling. It was full of drama and rehearsed moves.
Greg, I brought you on the show today to let you know that I had sex with your mother. You had sex with my mother? You fucking asshole! Ding, ding, ding. Jerry, go Ricky, go Ricky.
But Oprah brought refinement to a savage medium. She didn't just desire ratings. She made it appear as if her only wish were to help people. The act of sincerity worked, and no one can resist a candid, big-boned black woman who's very sincere. For Oprah was a cross between Nell Carter and Roz Abrams from the old Eyewitness News. She provided America's first academic Aunt Jemima.
Mary, you must assume responsibility for your actions. If you do not, you will have horrendous ramifications for the rest of your life. I'm sorry, Oprah!
Oh, that's okay, baby. Come here and lie on Big Mama's shoulder. You just remember Oprah loves you. Oh, baby, Oprah loves you. Soon, she became an icon. As an icon, Oprah did not receive a typical audience response to a television personality. No! In due time, she was propelled to the status of a prophet. People would damn near plan a pilgrimage to the Oprah Winfrey Show like Muslims do for Mecca. And this is a very apt analogy, because those who got the chance to meet Oprah basically tried to kiss her ass like it was the sacred black stone in the Kaaba. Viewers at home who couldn't afford the sojourn still submitted to the will of Oprah at least 5 times a week. Quick, honey, take out the prayer rug. Oprah's on. Once she took full control of her television program, Oprah expanded into magazines, films made for television, and the infamous Oprah's book cult. First came 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the people bought them all. Why? Because Oprah said so.
She was so smart, she was so wise, she was so sweet.
When Oprah said help a particular person, the people did. When Oprah said stop eating meat in the industry, the people did. When Oprah said design your house according to the principles of Martha Stewart, the people did. When Oprah gave a gift, she was saint. When Oprah cried for the pain of others, she was the Messiah. Well, if she is the Messiah, then call me Pontius Pilate. Citizens, let the blood be on us and on our children. Oprah has infiltrated the psyche of the American public. Why? Because if I may borrow a line from an old movie entitled Devil's Advocate, we never saw her coming. Americans were too wary of the world's imperialistic past and too satisfied with the benefits of democracy to allow some new age Napoleon, Hitler, Stalin, Mao Zedong-like character to take over. No! Oprah knew that in order to take control of the American, militant force was not the way. She understood in the capitalism of 2001, the entrepreneur was the closest thing to a dictator, and that in order to heighten her control on the American mind, she must seize the chains that already bind it, the mass production. And that's exactly what she did. She continued to expand her market, producing Oprah cartoons which conquered the Pokemon fad, or rubber Oprah dolls for kids, porcelain Oprah dolls for adults, or Oprah clothing from conservative business outfits to hip-hop wear with large O-name brands. Once she bought out Hollywood in 2015, Oprah films moved to the big screen. Then came Oprah PSAs, Oprah commercials, Oprah Foods advertising Oprah commercials, Oprah furniture, Oprah cars, Oprah cosmetics, Oprah toiletries, Oprah buys all the TV channels, Oprah radio stations, AM and FM, Oprah infomercials, Oprah fortune cookies, Oprah restaurants, Oprah literature, including Oprah for Dummies volumes 1 through 100, Oprah Gates Electronics, the merger took place in 2017, Oprah Construction, Oprah Schools, Oprah Churches, Oprah Mosques, Oprah Temples. The list goes on. And once she controlled the mass production, every other desire she had was given to her on a silver platter. In the year 2020, Oprah was elected as president, and Stedman became the first lady. In the year 2025, Oprah was elected again. In the year 2029, Oprah convinces the people to abandon the 2-term policy. And Oprah has been president ever since. But this president has eliminated all checks and balances that curb the power of the executive branch. This president has turned Congress into a figurehead. Our government is a farce. Ayanna Van Zant is our vice president. Dr. Phil is our secretary of state. Citizens! Oprah has complete power, all the while keeping her motherly smile behind those pearly whites as a serpent's tongue, believe you me. You ask, why didn't the government intervene? Didn't they see that she was becoming a chief, a feudal lord, a king, a monarch, a Caesar, a tyrant? Why? Because they never saw her coming. Citizens, I speak of this history because some of you are too young to know the past, and some of you that know the past need to be reminded. We must view Oprah historically. The young Oprah and the old Oprah. The talk show Oprah and the president Oprah. The fat Oprah and the skinny Oprah. And the fat Oprah and the skinny Oprah and the fat Oprah and the skinny Oprah. Well, she had a lot of fat and skinny cycles, but we must view them all to truly know what we're up against, to know the essence of her imperialism and her conditioning methods. Citizens, in the year 2035, Oprah Winfrey is transforming America into a mirror of herself. And she's achieving her goal with little difficulty. The majority of Americans listen and obey every word that comes from this woman's mouth like thoughtless machines. The minds of the masses are turning into megabytes. Well, if that's the case, citizens, then Control, Alt, Delete, my friend. We gotta shut this program down. But although the mindless masses purposefully copy her in addition to being unknowingly molded by her system, they are simply becoming miniature, mindless Oprahs. For these mindless masses are merely superficial replicas of Oprah, bad copies of a shitty original, similar to a Xerox of a drunk worker's anus made during a faculty party. We never saw her coming. And because of this, I'm afraid to say that we have allowed her to design a society whereby even the people who think on their own and actually use their reasoning faculty are simply becoming programmed to think and reason like Oprah. What happens when you eat the same foods as someone else, watch the same movies, read the same books, wear the same clothes, watch the same discussion panels, obey the same leaders, do everything the same? I'm sure you've guessed it, you start thinking and reasoning the exact same way. Even if you're not purposefully trying to copy the other person, you will start thinking like that other person if you share similar experiences. For your thought process is shaped by your experiences, and if two thinkers experience the same exact things, then the two thinkers will in many ways think the same thoughts the same way. Oprah understood this basic philosophy and has shaped a society that is based on her thoughts and on her way of thinking. And her structure has already altered some of our most thought-provoking citizens, for most of their experiences come from a society Oprah has created. They eat all of Oprah's foods, wear all of Oprah's clothes, worship in all of Oprah's denominations, ride all of Oprah's transportation, read all of Oprah's books, obey all of Oprah's laws, attend all of Oprah's schools, and are in many ways becoming miniature Oprahs with Oprah thoughts and Oprah reasoning. Citizens, you are the chosen few who refuse to be enslaved. The chosen few who refuse to be miniature Oprahs. That's why you're here right now, listening to me speak, contemplating revolution. But some of you are having second thoughts. You're thinking, what are we fighting for? You're thinking, is Oprah really all that bad? She's an imperialist, an egomaniac, but she doesn't inflict any harm on the innocent. She doesn't deny us of our freedom. Ever since the days of her talk show, she has spread a message of peace and love between all men. There is no denying this fact. And she has effectively conveyed this positive message, at least in America. For in this country, she has quelled the gender wars. She's eliminated most forms of discrimination. She's even convinced people to actually love thy neighbor. And she has united the races all under one Oprah ideology, which is be like Oprah and everything will be all right. Maybe it's true. If everyone acts like Oprah, the world might become a utopia, you ask. Is she really all that bad? To this question I pose another. If a man gives you all the finest foods in the world and cuts out your tongue, would you thank him for the food he gave you? Would you? I don't think you would. And is not Oprah cutting your tongue, your voice? Citizens, a world full of nothing but Oprah clones is not a world I would like to live in. A world composed of only bestseller reading, Old Navy wearing, pseudo-conservative behaving, inspirational speaker listening, watered down Eastern philosophy following, lukewarm version of Christianity practicing, approximately 2 Leave It to Beaver children and a dog named Scruffy having, nasal nose Fargo talking, simple concept thinking, pop culture abiding, flights! It's not a world for me, citizens. And if everyone in our society must become an Oprah clone in order to have this supposedly better world, where there is peace and love between all men, then by God let there be hell on earth. Turn our White House into fire and brimstone. Let our Supreme Court be ruled by 12 hell fiends. Make our police force beat us with pitchforks. It would suit them since they've already proven they are devils. Let our Senate be a tribe of fallen angels, for I will not be a part of Huxley's prophecy. Will you, citizens? Will you? At one time, most of the mindless masses followed Oprah. Now, in the year 2035, because of the system she has established, all of the mindless rat race masses skipped the tune of Oprah's piping flute. And sadly enough, us, the chosen few thinkers, are following suit. But we have no choice but to follow suit as long as we continue to allow this present-day system to persist, for she is conditioning us through her domination. And if you are able to maintain your unique identity in this present-day system despite all these obstacles, don't count on your children doing the same. Citizens, take our arms and join the struggle. We are small in number, but large in thought. We can win. Harness the spirit of known and unknown bards of old who died for their rebellious convictions. Walk out this door. Get down on your knees and grip the soil. The blood of your ancestors made that ground fertile. Were their deaths in vain? Black, white, brown, yellow. You all had ancestors that died for your freedom. Were their deaths in vain? They did not die for cowards. Some of you will have nice jobs, good professions, loving families, but that's not enough, is it? If it were enough, you wouldn't be here tonight. Something inside you is growing. Something inside you is growing until it grips your throat, clenches your teeth, climbs and clenches it all around and wraps around your corpus callosum, splits the hemispheres of your brain in twain. This thing growing inside you won't let you be pacified. This thing growing inside you will continue to strangle you until you take arms and join the struggle. This thing growing inside you is called a revolution. You, I, we are revolutionaries, and this meeting is a call to arms. Power to the people. Long live the revolution. 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 Thank you for letting me have that go here. If you possibly enjoy the show, how do I pay me a compliment? The only coins we accept are silver dollars. At the very least, the money should be able to increase. Cash, my friend, that green. We also accept credit cards. Well, we don't have a machine to swipe the credit cards, but we still accept them because Shang-Chi forged signatures in 12 languages. Why do I hear coins? You people don't look poor, not as poor as me. If I were Oprah, you'd give me all the money I desired, and she doesn't need it. Well, you know, forget the piece. If you want to be like Oprah, do what Oprah does. Donate to the poor, me.